You guys, we need to talk. I had another video go viral and not a lot of people knew what I meant by it. That makes me so sad because knowledge is fucking power. So with that being said, today's video is going to be on that same video that went viral and me explaining what I meant. Let's get into it.
Bitch, okay, pop your shit, say something pretty, that's fake dick, beef with who she got the right one. All these bad bitch, they got the like none. Petty on flick, I got the type one. Make one, take it, I got the right one. These fat bitch, you like is my son.
I know you guys are fucking tired of me wearing this hat because it's like, bitch, it's not even that fucking cold. But in Atlanta, it started to snow. And for some reason, everybody's like, oh, now you can wear that hat. Now you can wear that hat. No, don't act like you like the hat because now that there's snow outside. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. I bet y'all wish y'all would have had this hat. Now it's snowing and you bitches are outside cold. But that being said, there's one secret I have to let a lot of you guys into is that it is free to subscribe to my channel, you guys. Subscribe. That's all I will ever ask you guys for. I won't ever ask for money. I won't ever ask for anything, just for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel because we are going to hit 10K by the end of the year. Just like we hit 1K end of last year, we're now gonna hit 10K at the end of this year. Let's get into the video. So I'm gonna play the video out loud of what I'm talking about, and then we're gonna talk about that topic. So I'm going to hold it up to the mic just so that you guys can hear it. I'm gonna drop some knowledge really quick that my therapist did not even hold my hand to say. No one can abandon you. It has to be a power imbalance. That boy is not more powerful than you. He has no power over you. That girl has no power over you. So every time you say I can't live without them, or you get anxiety, or you feel like these type of ways, and it made me realize that I never was abandoned. I just felt the feeling. It wasn't real. I'm gonna drop some knowledge. So by God's grace, I was at the train station about to get on the train, and that's when I made that video because I was like, it just came to my head about that. And even like I said, that knowledge is fucking power. I did not know that video was gonna go viral. I feel like every single person always says that, but I truly did not know that was gonna go viral and 40K people were gonna see it. But I also seen like a couple comments talking about this is invalidating. I would hate to hear this from a therapist. I would hate to do this. I don't like that. And it's not that they're trying to sit down and invalidate my feelings and how I feel or how my view on it. It's that they don't understand what I mean by no one has power over you and you cannot be abandoned. Obviously, you can be abandoned. There's real abandonment, and then there's the feeling of abandonment. Feelings and real are not the same exact thing, okay? And I always like to share my own personal experience before I talk about anything. I have felt abandonment before, multiple times. I'm not going to go too deep into details in some situations, but most of my life, I could say that my feelings have felt like real abandonment, right? So I'm going to share 3 examples before I get into the point, right? First time I've ever been abandoned was by my mother and my father. I love my mother. I don't know about my father, clock that T, but he was abusive. If you have been on my channel for a while, you know that I was abused as a child, okay? He was abusive. He didn't leave me, but he still emotionally abandoned me. Like, didn't care about how I felt, put his hands on me and told me that was love. My mom, on the other hand, was always in a relationship, and she chose those relationships over her own kids. Like, a lot of the time, like, you'll see my mom in a 3-4 year relationship, and half of those relationships were emotionally abusive, etc. Like, I've watched my mom go through so many things, and at the end of the day, I remember begging on my knees, crying to my mom about her not leaving me for another man, and she chose that man. Which I'm not going to sit here and be like, pound on her, because obviously it is a valuable lesson, and everybody learns from their lessons, and hurt people. So I felt those were my 2 first experiences of abandonment. From that point on, all of my friendships and relationships, I have grown a people-pleasing and anxious attachment to a lot of people and things, where since I felt abandonment from my childhood, now I go into my relationships not wanting to make people mad, not doing bad things to them, not doing all of these things, which led me to, in a way, abandon my own feelings, because abandonment isn't only other people, it could be yourself as well. So I started to abandon my own feelings. And something that always came up in me is that everybody always leaves me, right? Where I'm just like, I must be the problem because I don't have no friends. Every relationship that I get into, it goes bad. It must be me. But in reality, because these people left, and because of my people pleasing and anxious attachments, I never left other people. I never had good boundaries. I've always felt like people were better than me, because it's like, why would they leave me? Like, I don't understand. So in a way, I had this weird dynamic of thinking that people had more power over me than I had over them. And in my mind, I was thinking that this is a power imbalance, right? Because this person's more powerful than me, because I allow them to yell at me and talk to me crazy, and I allow them to do all these things, and it feels like they had power. But in reality, they don't. Okay. And I also want to exclude people who are of abuse, who have been in abusive situations, because obviously that's a power imbalance. There's different money situations where somebody is financially taking care of you. That's a power imbalance. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about simply people who give too much power to their relationships and friendships, so that once they stand in their boundaries, they think this person left me. Where it's just like, oh, people always leave me, people always abandon me, but that's not the real thing. So yeah, so it's just like the feeling, it's the feeling of feeling like people are leaving me, even though this person has been the worst person on earth, even though this person has lied to me, stole from me, betrayed me. I think that they're abandoning me by leaving me. But the real situation is that this person has no power over you. They have no power. And what I was trying to say is that when you sit here and you say that every person is leaving you, you don't look at the root of the problem, which is your childhood. The people who had real power over you, the people who were supposed to take care of you in your young age, those people are the ones who are abandoning you and that left you. Deal with that issue. And then when you look back at all of your friendships and your relationships, you could say, oh, this felt like when I was a child and my family abandoned me, but it wasn't actually like that, because by God's grace, these people were not meant for me. These people were not good to me. So when you start taking yourself out of the inclusion, right? The equation, if you start taking yourself out and you look from outside in, it's like, oh, from my childhood, I had abandonment issues that made me have anxious attachment issues, that made me also have people pleasing issues, so that when people leave me, I tend to think this is abandonment. This is somebody leaving me. But in reality, I have abandoned myself. I don't trust myself. I don't love myself enough. So I think because I did so many things for these people, that they had to be abandoning me. They had to be leaving me. But the real thing is right, nobody is obligated to love you or care for you. I don't want to say it like in a way, because it might sound like, bitch, what are you talking about? But nobody is obligated to do any of those things. Nobody is obligated to give you loyalty. Nobody's obligated to give you love. Nobody's obligated to give you a lot of things. And sadly, when you have such a good heart, you think that every single person you meet is going to be like that. But in reality, a lot of people do not think like that. And the sad thing is that we wish and we wish and we wish that we will get people like that, but it's not the truth, right? So I had a friendship, and I made a video about her, a TikTok actually, and I made a YouTube video about her and about our friendship leaving. When we had our last conversation on the phone, I was asking her certain questions, and she did not value our friendship more than me. There you go. Peep that, right? So to me, that's a power imbalance. You think that you're better than me. Oh, I gave you too much power. But in reality, she taught me a valuable lesson. Is that people don't owe you anything, and you do not owe other people the same. Meaning, she thought that she thought that it was okay, or she did not value our friendship. And because I valued it so much, I thought she had power over me because I loved her. But the reality is that no one is more powerful than you, because you are your own human being. Okay? No one is taking your power away by dating you or being with you. The real thing is that people are just fucked up. These are not your parents. These are not people that are obligated to be in your life. They want to leave, let them be. But a real abandonment comes from the childhood, comes from people who have power, real power over you, financially, abuse, all of those things. That's real abandonment. What you're feeling right now is the feeling of what you think is abandonment, right? And I'm just trying to tell you, I'm just trying to make it easier on you, so that when you're getting over these friendships and getting over these relationships, you're not putting all of the blame on yourself and thinking everybody abandons you. You abandon yourself, okay? Stop abandoning yourself. Abandoning yourself means thinking that this person is better than you, that this person has more power over you, which they don't. You have all the power. Take back your power. Love people as much as they love you. Leave people where they need to be left at. But yeah, that's all I really meant by the entire YouTube video and what I was trying to get my point across. But that being said, I love you guys, and please subscribe. With that being said, bye.